Hey everyone, it's Hannah, and today I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can use seed beads to make bracelets. They are perfect for beginners as they look far more challenging than they actually are. They look really nice just by themselves or perfect stacked up on your arm. So let's get started with the first bracelet. This I think is the easier one of the 3 bracelets, so it's a good place to start. I'm using size 10 seed beads today in 3 different colours. And I've cut 3 lengths of monofilament thread to about 30 centimetres. I'm then going to pop all 3 ends through the necklace end. It's also known as a calotte. A full list of ingredients for these bracelets will be in the description box. I'm using a size 2 crimp tube for this bracelet and popping that over all 3 strands as well. And then taking my chain nose pliers and sliding that crimp tube up and squish. It's holding it in place. Then you trim off the excess. You can either use scissors or side cutters, either ones work. And then you're good to go. To close up your necklace end, I'm taking my chain nose pliers and holding 1/2, squashing it against the pliers, and then finishing off that close. Ta-da! Now we're going to take one of the strands. I'm threading my needle, makes it a bit easier. It's not essential, but does speed up the process. And then I'm just going to start picking up my seed beads. Now it does entirely depend on what size your wrist is. I think I did a total of 80 seed beads for each strand, but seed beads do vary very slightly in size. I'm speaking too quickly, I'm sorry. So just go by eye, that's how I do it anyway, and just keep picking up those seed beads. When you've picked up all the seed beads that you need, I snip off the excess because that bit of Supplemax gets all bent from the needle. I'm taking some washi tape, normal tape will also suffice, and I'm taping the end because we need to do the exact same thing to the 2 other strands, and I don't want all my beads to fall off the first. So skew that down. And so then I'm going to thread my needle with the next one and pick up the same amount of seed beads with the next thread, and then I'm going to repeat that for the final one as well. Don't forget to tape the end, otherwise it will be a disaster. So there are my 3 strands complete. They are all approximately the same size, and then I'm going to pull the tape off, trim them down so they're all about the same size. This makes it easier to attach the necklace end on the other end. And thread that through the necklace end, pop on the size 2 crimp tube, and then taking my chain nose pliers again, just going to squish that, which is far easier than I'm making it look. Just making a pig's ear out of it. Give it a good old squish. We don't want it to fall apart after you spent all that time threading the beads. Give it a bit of a tug and then you can snip the ends off and close up just like before. I like using necklace ends, it finishes off the ends quite nicely. Taking round nose pliers, I am then going to bend the hook round into a loop. And ta-da! So I'm grabbing my tape measure. I know that my wrist is 17 centimetres round, so my bracelet is about 12 centimetres, which means I need 5 more centimetres added on. The clasp adds a bit of length, so I'm snipping it off at 4.5 centimetres. And then cutting that in half, so 2.25-ish. Life isn't full of perfect things. Then I'm taking my clasp and jump rings and just attaching it all together. So we twist open jump rings, we don't pull them apart. If you twist it open, it keeps them nice and round. If you pull it apart, then they'll go very askew and look a little bit weird. So nice and round, and twist, and continue. And then attach your clasp in the same way. And there is your bracelet complete. And this is me struggling with the clasp because it's new. I always struggle with clasps when they're new. And I didn't want to chip my jazzy nail varnish either. But yeah, bracelet number 1 is done. Woo woo. Now we're ready to move on to bracelet number 2, which I think looks really nice. Kind of looks like an infinity sign. So I'm using size 10 seed beads for this as well, but using size 1 crimp tubes instead of size 2 crimp tubes. They're just a little bit smaller. So I have cut 30 centimeters of Supplemax monofilament thread again. Seems to be my go-to figure. Once again, it's going to be too much. And then we're taping one end so all the seed beads don't fall off as you're threading them on. And then thread your needle on the other end. Like so. And then we're picking up seed beads. Now this one I did just under the size of my wrist, so I did just under 17 centimeters, I think. I know that it was 130 seed beads because I counted for you guys. I counted. But just keep picking up those seed beads. And like I say, seed bead sizes do vary very slightly. So play it by eye. Then take the tape off, fold it up in half, which is tricky when you've got a bent bit of Supplemax, but that's fine. We'll snip as much of that as we can. And taking the two ends, we're popping them both through the necklace end, which is tricky when you have a bent bit of Supplemax. Like so. And then we're taking our size 1 crimp tube, which is very slightly smaller than the size 2 crimp tube. Just holds 2 pieces of Supplemax a lot tighter than a size 2 crimp tube was. But you can use a size 2, it will also work, so don't panic too much. And a squish. Squish. Yeah. Give it a bit of a tug to make sure it doesn't come off. Snip off the excess and close up your necklace end. Then loopy loop. Ta-da! You're going to make another one in exactly the same way, exactly the same length. And so to put them together, what you do is you lay them end to end, you loop one over the other, and then holding one in place and the other in place, you put the necklace end underneath the loop of the other necklace, other bracelet loop, and then back over the top. And that was really poorly explained. Just watch it and you'll get it. You'll be fine. And then we just attach clasps in the exact same way. If you found that your bracelet wasn't quite long enough to fit around your wrist, you can also add chain at this point. So that's fine. The possibilities are open to you. Do what you want. It's your bracelet at the end of the day. I'm not going to dictate how it should be finished. This is just how I finished it. Lovely. Good work, me. Making sure that jump ring is good and closed. And there we go. It's finished. It's nice, no? Yes. Ta-da! I really like that one I made with some metallic-y blue beads. I just really like that colour of beads. Now we're ready to move on to step 3. Congratulations, you have progressed on to the next level. This one is once again quite easy though. So I've once again cut 2 30cm lengths of Supplemax this time. I am popping them on my calotte or necklace end, and then popping on a size 1 crimp tube. Flop. And then taking my pliers with my shaky hand because I was doing it left-handed. Look at the shake. Shaky, shaky, shake, and squish. Yeah. And scoop that up. And then I'm threading my needle at this point, but look at those nails. Aren't they good? Aren't they clever? First time I've ever done those. Anyway, I am picking up seed beads. So once again, very much play it by eye. I think I picked up exactly 100 seed beads on each strand for this one. But yeah, I very much play it by eye. Because I'm not a very exact person. But I went with 100 seed beads, which I guess is quite exact. I'm counteracting myself. Anyway, once you've threaded those on, snip off the horrible bent bit that's difficult to use and tape it up because we don't want those seed beads to fall off. No, we don't. Tape. Lovely. 10 out of 10. So then we are threading our needle on the other strand. Or at least trying. Yeah, trying. And then we are picking up all the beads. So now we are attaching a necklace end onto the other end, popping another crimp tube on to the other end. Squish. A squish. Yeah. Good. And then we are going to snip off the excess. Like so. And then close up those necklace ends. So both of those lengths of seed beads are the same length. And I'm just closing that up. And looping the top round. And you've already seen this far too many times now, I'm sorry. So we're going to make 2 other strands the exact same length in the exact same way, so I didn't think you needed to endure that as well. Then I'm taking a 5mm jump ring, which I've handily already twisted open, and I'm popping a 1, 2 and a 3 all on that one jump ring and twist it back closed. Now at this point I would usually safety pin them to my trousers and plait them, but I film on a piece of felt, so that's my sister's finger which is holding it in place. Thanks, Charlotte. Yes, I'm simply plaiting the 3 strands together, which, yeah, quite jazzy. And yeah, you all know how to plait now. Yeah. Now the tricky part is keeping all the strands in place whilst you're trying to pop on the other jump ring. And I won't lie, not the easiest of things, but persist, you'll be fine. So then on the other end you are attaching the other 5mm jump ring. Twist it close, and there we go. So now we are going to measure our bracelet, which is 15 centimeters. My wrist is 17 centimeters, so I need to add another 2 centimeters. So 1.5, because the clasp adds some length. And so that dinky piece of chain I'm now going to cut in half. Obviously, if you plait tighter than me, which I did for the first bracelet I made, you are going to need more chain, because the tighter you plait, the shorter the length will be. But I plaited this one quite loosely, as it happened. We're attaching that chain using the jump rings that are holding all of those necklace ends together, so open with caution. And then we are going to attach our clasps. I need to get some more decorative clasps. I mean, you know, those clasps are nice, but they're not quite as jazzy. Ta-da! So these bracelets look really good done as 1 colour or as 3. I liked using that mixed bag of blue, it was pretty. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and or why not subscribe. I post a new video every Sunday, and sometimes a bonus one in the week as well. If you make anything using one of my tutorials, feel free to post it on social media using the hashtag #TheCornerOfCraft, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!